What is up, all of my beautiful volleyball players out there? Welcome back to another PME volleyball video. What we are going to be doing for today's video is looking at some of the best volleyball TikToks. Some of the best volleyball content out there is posted on the platform TikTok, and what I thought we would do for today's video is take a look at some of the best volleyball TikToks posted by you guys out there in the community and see what other creators are up to. If you guys do not know, around the time of this recording, the VNLs were happening too, so there are a lot of VNL volleyball TikToks out there that I thought I would include and we would take a look at for today's video. As we do on most videos on this channel, we will be giving every single clip a rating of 1 through 10. And with that all out of the way, let's hop straight into the video. Before we hop into the video, if you could do me a favor, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and go check out PME Volleyball Shorts for more PME volleyball content. If you like what I got going on this channel, you will definitely like what I got going on over there. With that all out of the way, let's hop straight into the video. Okay, first up, we have a Who's the Outside Hitter. I absolutely love these videos. They're so fun. We have Davis up first. Okay. I don't know about Davis. Let's see this next clip. Okay, that looks a lot more solid. Davis would probably be my #1 candidate right now because he's the only candidate I've seen. Now we have Garb. And I don't think it's Garb. I don't think Garb is the outside hitter. If Garb is the outside hitter, that boy looks like a libero. If anything, yeah, okay. We're definitely a libero if I had to pick for Garb. And then we got Juco Demon. Okay. You know, Juco Demon might actually be my, no, that's the outside hitter. That is definitely the outside hitter. I would say Juco Demon is the outside hitter, and then maybe Davis could be an outside hitter, but Garb is definitely not an outside hitter. I love videos like that. It's just so fun to like try and guess and see. Sometimes it's pretty obvious. I feel like it was pretty obvious in that one. An outside hitter, then he's probably an opposite, but I would say Juco Demon is my first guess, then Davis, and Garb, sorry, you are just most definitely not an outside hitter. I'm gonna give that TikTok a solid 6 out of 10 to start today's video. Up next, could you bounce on men's height? Is that a men's volleyball net? Dang! Yo, if that is a men's volleyball net, that is kind of crazy because it means that girl's volleyball player right there has some serious bounce. She just absolutely destroyed that volleyball. Honestly, I know there are plenty of super athletes out there, and I'm sure that quite a handful of women could easily hit on a men's net just like that, but that is kind of crazy. You know, you don't see a lot of women hitting volleyballs on men's height nets, but I believe it. I wouldn't say there's any reason to lie about that. Some people are just really athletic, you know, and they're using their athletic gifts in order to make great TikTok videos. I'm gonna give that video like an 8.2 out of 10. I would say, honestly, that was super insanely impressive. When nobody knows how to play volleyball except you. Okay. Looks like we got a little bit of physical education gym class volleyball. Honestly, good one-arm dig. That one-arm dig, not so much. And this is every volleyball player's greatest dream and aspiration, is to play volleyball of this caliber, for sure. I don't even know what's going on anymore. We got 3v3. Oh, we're just sending that volleyball back over the net and punching at it. Yeah, honestly, that just gives me PTSD from back in my high school days playing gym class volleyball. It's just not fun. You know, volleyball, there's just like a skill floor, I would say. And like once you hit that skill floor threshold, then you can actually start to, you know, get some rallies and play real volleyball. But it looks like these guys aren't like new players necessarily, rather than they're just like messing around in gym class, which is fine. As a volleyball player, that is definitely not the most appealing version of volleyball I could ever say I would want to be a part of. I'm gonna give that video like a 4.3 out of 10. Honestly, the only thing it really did is evoke some memories of, you know, back in the good old days playing that gym class volleyball and trying not to cringe all of the time. Before we hop any further into today's video, I just want to take a quick moment to shout out the sponsor of today's video, my friends over at Victory Insoles. I have worn Victory Insoles in my volleyball shoes for over 2 years now, and I can say without a doubt that this is my favorite product and something I recommend every volleyball player invest in. Victory Insoles are the perfect product to slip into your volleyball shoes. They can help you make more explosive movements out there on the volleyball court. As you guys already know, volleyball is a complete game of explosiveness. You need to be able to jump at your highest potential power in order to, you know, hit the volleyball and block the volleyball. Not only do I find Victory Insoles to be the best possible product to possibly help you with your vertical jump, from my own experience, I can say that they are super comfortable. In most volleyball shoes, the insole that you will find is just a flimsy piece of foam that's offering you no support or no stability. Victory Insoles can offer you that support support and stability that is super important to keep you healthy out there on the volleyball court. Victory insoles are without a doubt my favorite product to play the game of volleyball, and I absolutely will not play volleyball without these in my shoes, and I highly recommend you check them out. There's a link in the description of this video that'll get you a discount off of your very own pair of Victory insoles. I highly recommend you check them out, and thanks again to Victory insoles for being the sponsor of today's video. Now with that out of the way, let's hop straight back into all of the volleyball TikToks, and thanks again to Victory for sponsoring today's video. Go Victory. Our middle used to play basketball. We're setting a middle, and oh my goodness, that is absolutely nasty right there. That is just an insane play, and for anybody who thinks that might be illegal, I don't think that is actually illegal one bit, and he's getting a piggyback ride to celebrate that one. Yeah, that one is actually completely clean, ladies and gentlemen. If you take the volleyball like this and push it down, it is completely legal. If you take the volleyball like this, where your hand is kind of under it and then you throw it, that's when it becomes illegal. But from the looks of it, what this volleyball player did was take that volleyball from the top, throw it down, which makes it completely legal, and that is just an insane play right there. Honestly, kind of difficult to stop. That boy has bounced. I'm gonna give that volleyball clip a 9.1 out of 10. That is honestly one of the more impressive things I've seen on TikTok and seen a volleyball player do. That's just insane. You know, there's a little controversy into it as well. I definitely like that TikTok video. Therefore, I'm giving it a pretty high score. Okay, up next, we have what looks to be an underhanded serve coming in. And oh, look at that. It scores an ace. That is some textbook underhanded serving form, I guess. Honestly, if I was a coach of a younger generation of volleyball players, I would try and coach that out right away. Get those players float serving as soon as they possibly can, because there's just not a lot of need or use for the underhanded serve when you get to a certain level in volleyball, and that certain level starts pretty early on in the volleyball career of a player. So honestly, as textbook of form as that was, underhand serving the volleyball, I would not recommend practicing that to that level where she kind of seemed super locked into it. And instead, I bet that she could probably get pretty close to float serving, and I would recommend you do that as well. I'll give it a 5 out of 10 flat. You love to see an ace, but honestly, I'm just not the biggest fan of underhanded serves, unless it's the underhanded jump serve. If you know, you know. POV, you're so focused training you didn't even notice bro's sinking with you. And it looks like he said that being the POV because they both hit the volleyball completely in sync. Just in case you guys don't have eyeballs and you're watching this video, I just broke it down for you. That is honestly kind of insane how in sync they actually were. They literally did the same spike at the same time right next to each other. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm gonna give it like a 7.6 out of 10. I haven't seen a whole lot of TikTok content like that where you see two players doing the same thing at the same time. So yeah, I appreciate that video. Well done. That was fun. Good TikTok. Okay, we're putting you right side. Let's see an absolute smashing of the volleyball right here. Hey! Oh no, never mind. That is quite unfortunate. You know, I have actually done that myself in the game of volleyball, where I go up, I think I'm about to absolutely hammer that volleyball, and then, you know, I make a little bit of miscalculation on my jump, and it just ends up landing behind me. That is unfortunate, to say the least, but sadly, it does happen. It happens to the best of us, and it sucks that that happened to you, but it does make for a pretty funny video, if you will say so myself. Comment down below if you've ever done that. I can remember vividly a time when I was in high school, and I jumped up to hit an overpass, but then I just let it land behind me. That was pretty fun. That was not pretty fun, but I think I did post it, maybe. I'm not really sure about that. I'm gonna give some pity points to that play right there. I'm gonna give it like a 6.3 out of 10. I do feel a little bit bad that that happened to you, but hey, it does happen in the game of volleyball. It's a game of mistakes, and you certainly made one in this video. Okay, looks like we got a little bit of VNL content. We got Brazil taking on Japan. This is just always going to be an exciting matchup. We got an outside blocked by Brazil, but Japan brings the volleyball back, free ball. Brazil is gonna go to the opposite out of the D ball and put that volleyball down. But what a recovery by Japan to bring that volleyball back onto their side of the net, but then the D ball is just smashed down the line, and Brazil scores the point and I think wins the match. That is a crazy effort by Japan. We see them time and time again just do absolutely insane things like this. They're just so skilled at the game of volleyball, and always tune in to Japan if they are playing a game of volleyball. I highly recommend you do. Go watch the VNL highlights on YouTube. It'll make your day. It is just so entertaining to watch. And when you take two powerhouses like Japan and Brazil and put them up against each other, it's gonna make for some pretty good entertainment. I'm gonna give that volleyball video an 8.4 out of 10. I do like, and I'm a fan of the Volleyball Nations League myself. It is just super entertaining for us volleyball consumers to see some very high level volleyball be played in the years that the Olympics aren't necessarily happening. Keeping the theme of the VNLs, looks like we have a foot save coming up into a match point. So let's see, we got a block, but it's picked up by the Poland middle off of his foot and then scored. That is just absolutely wild. That volleyball was tipped in between the middle block and the net, but he just kind of stuck his foot out, and then Japan was not able to get the dig. Kind of uncoordinated for Japan. Usually they're pretty locked in on defense, but it looked like it was, I thought it was your ball, no, I thought it was your ball type of moment in the back row for those players on Japan's side. But wow, that is some foot-eye coordination by the middle of Poland to get that volleyball up in the air and still in play. And I think Poland 3-0'd Japan in the quarterfinals, which is sad for all of us Japan fans out there. But you know, Poland is also one of those powerhouses that is just insanely good at the game of volleyball. I'm gonna give that foot save an 8.7 out of 10. I really like a good foot save, and I like when it actually amounts to something rather than just like a free ball. So yeah, that was sick. And we have a little bit more VNL volleyball content. Cuba versus Italy. Italy is actually one of my favorite teams to watch when it comes to professional volleyball. They got pmecollaborations, the just giant 6'9", 6'10" lefty outside hitter, just super electric to watch. And we got some good defense. Italy sending over a free ball to Cuba. And what are they gonna do with this volleyball? Go to the middle, picked up absolutely beautifully by a middle, and then Italy retaliates with the D ball, scoring that volleyball. That is just absolutely world-class volleyball right there. Italy just putting on a master class of defense to offense, transitioning to score a point right there. And Cuba is one of the most explosive teams in the entire world when it comes to volleyball. They just have athletes upon athletes, just able to do incredible things. But that was a great clip right there. Nice little rally in the Volleyball Nations League. I'm gonna give that TikTok another score in the 8 category. We're gonna give it an 8.4 out of 10. Last but not least, I'm pretty sure this was the most viewed TikTok volleyball video in like the past month. And it's literally just these guys passing the volleyball with a homemade pancake, you know? Using their hand as the floor instead of the floor as the floor when it comes to the pancake and popping that volleyball up. Honestly, you could maybe do that in the game of volleyball as a technique. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it though, because it wouldn't be the most controlled action in the game of volleyball. There would be a lot of variance and variables to mess that up. Like, it wouldn't be super easy to be able to do automatically time and time again. So while that was a cool volleyball video, I wouldn't say that would be something that would like revolutionize the game of volleyball necessarily, but it was pretty entertaining. I will say so myself. I kind of find it hard to believe that that is the most viewed volleyball TikTok. It had like millions upon millions of views. Kind of insane actually when you think about it. But yeah, sometimes simplicity wins, and that obviously won TikTok for the past month. So I think I'm going to give the most viewed TikTok video that has to do with volleyball on the entire internet right now. We'll end it with like a 7.9 out of 10. That was entertaining. Gave me something to talk about for the past minute or so. So yeah, I will say I appreciated that. That is going to do it for today's video. Now, if we look back at all of the TikTok videos that were viewed in today's video, if I had to choose a favorite for today's video, it absolutely had to be that middle throwing down the dunk on the other side of the net. He not only OT'd the blocker, but then just continued to throw that volleyball down into the floorboards. It was absolutely beautiful, and I loved watching it. That will easily, without a doubt, be my favorite TikTok clip of the day. Let me know down in the comments what was yours. Make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next PME volleyball video. Peace.